museum, Jorge Rando, in Malaga, is towards the back of the main centre. If you leave CAC Malaga, the Centro de Arte Contemporáneo, and follow the Guadalmedina inland, you're walking about 15 minutes, something like that, and then you turn right. You come across this beautiful 1920s outdoor market place, which is called Mercado de Salamanca, and the museum is nearby. It's quite an interesting museum. It's all works by Jorge Rando, and there's quite a variety of pieces, quite a large collection. So, one of the first things that you will come across when you go upstairs is this area, which is sort of devoted to pictures of soldiers. It's very interesting, very clever work. That all of the work is it of the expressionist style, but this is very cleverly mounted, so you get this feeling of all these individuals who have been put into this role as soldiers, become sort of anonymous as part of that, and in some ways quite isolated, a very clever use of the frames for this. But there's some really interesting pieces of work here, and you will find all the way round the museum that they are interspersed with some sculptures as well. Then outside, there's a really beautiful little courtyard which is surrounded on two sides. There are areas that you can go into, and then this floor has got a lot of influence from butterflies actually, but not in a sort of tacky naff sort of way, but they are incorporated into some quite powerful pieces of work. So, one of the pieces that I was particularly impressed by the first time that I went is this. It's really engaging, and I just could not help but sit down in front of it to really take my time to take it all in. It's quite large. Some of these pieces, sort of 2 meters by 2.5 meters, something like that. So, obviously, a photograph is not really doing justice at all to this picture, but there are several pieces of this sort of style, but also some other styles. Here we are. You can see this relationship to war and conflict, barbed wire. That's very poignant pictures. There's also some exploration of pattern and different techniques, and some very interesting ways of displaying work. Now, I was a little bit thrown because it's one of those buildings that does not have the same layout on the different floors. So, actually, you do go upstairs, and then you've got a very different area of work. As you go round this museum, you will see that there is a lot of information where Jorge Rando explains his thinking, the areas that he's trying to explore. There are some videos, and I think all of these are in English and Spanish. There's a collection here of these pieces, which are quite different, very strong lines, contrasting colours, quite uncomfortable colours actually, and some of these exploring some Christian themes, as you can see here, with groups of people and different situations. As you follow along this passageway, the feeling changes. I really love the colours that have been used on this piece. I found it a very attractive piece of work. Um, and then it moves into right at the end of the corridor some more interesting work. A lot of work here exploring pattern and texture, with different ways of applying the paint. But this just brought back my childhood. It was Laura Ashley wallpaper, the colours in this particular piece. But there's a selection of pieces that have been put together in different ways on the walls. So I do recommend the Jorge Rando Museum in Malaga. It's quite a cheap visit. I think it's about €4. And it's quite an interesting area to explore. If you follow along the road when you come out, turn right when you come out of the door, it then leads you to the little back alleys of Malaga. Lots of shade, but also bringing you back round to the main centre where the cathedral is. Enjoy.